The man removed a horse's limbs and its reproductive and excretory organs, and this modification created a snake. But once the snake appeared, the bird's eggs were in danger. The man suggested designing eggs with spikes, but then realized laying such eggs would hurt the birds. Then he proposed making the eggs stick to adult birds' bellies, or even making the eggs able to move on their own. Finally, he decided to make the eggshell extremely hard, so hard that even a snake could not digest it. But when the eggs were finished, the baby birds could not peck through the shell. A colleague suggested improving the eggs so that the chicks had better awareness and could avoid the snake sooner. But the snakes reacted too quickly, and as soon as a chick broke free, it was immediately eaten. Clearly, focusing only on the eggs was useless, so they decided to improve the nests instead. They designed the nest entrance to face downward, so birds could fly in safely, but if a snake tried to crawl in, it would fall. This species was eventually named the nestwise bird. The next day, the team arrived at work, and the colleague responsible for designing the birds still looked worried. After the nests had been modified, the snakes became even more aggressive and forced the birds to turn their nests into mazes. So the colleague immediately designed a new bird species that could eat snakes, the serpent vulture. Soon after, the team received another request from the deity, to design an animal that could reach high tree leaves. The old master suggested a Pegasus, since anything that could fly could eat anything. But the engineers rejected it, because a horse's muscles were too weak to flap wings and take off. Colleagues agreed, recalling that when they designed birds, they not only had to hollow out bones and feathers but also make the birds defecate frequently to reduce weight. In other words, to make a Pegasus, the horse would need extremely exaggerated muscles and constant defecation. Instead, the engineers created a giraffe with an ultra-long neck. But when it appeared, it collapsed. A 10-meter-long neck would require a heart weighing 1.5 tons to pump blood to the brain, so it fainted as soon as it stood up. The colleagues suggested an alternative: make the deer's legs longer. But if the legs were too long, the deer could not lower its head to drink water. Finally, they combined the two solutions, slightly longer necks and legs, so the animal could eat high leaves and drink water without straining its heart or getting dizzy. Then the colleagues suggested adding bacteria to the giraffe's stomach that could convert leaves into protein, allowing it to survive on just leaves despite its large size. With everyone's efforts, the giraffe was finally completed and approved by the deity. But as soon as it appeared, it swallowed a weak bird nearby in one bite.